This wizard is designed to make filling out the DA Form 4833 easier for law enforcement and for commanders. To utilize the DA 4833 wizard and the routing capabilities of the MyForms environment, enter MyForms by clicking on the Files button on the AKO homepage. Go to the Inbox tab of your MyForms portal. You should see the 4833s which have been sent to you in your inbox. Click on the form title to access the form. This is the welcome page of the DA Form 4833. You may use the wizard to fill it out, or you can still fill it out directly in the form view. Right now we will illustrate the use of the wizard. Select the checkbox to complete the 4833 using the wizard, then press Next in the lower right corner of the screen. The control information has already been filled in by the law enforcement officer. The suspense date is set 45 days from the referral date. You are expected to complete this form before the suspense date is reached. The offender information is also filled out. You may change this information, but do so only if you need to correct it, such as the name spelling or the Social Security number. One change to the new form is that we can now use non-Social Security number identification if necessary, for example for foreign nationals. The law enforcement officer has already filled in the offense, basis, and date of the referred offenses. Up to 10 offenses can be referred on a single 4833. You must fill in the information on the right side of this section in response to each referred offense. If you choose to not take action on an offense, you must choose a reason from the drop-down list and enter remarks to explain your reasoning. Press Save and Exit when you have completed your remarks. All remarks will be saved in the Commander's Remarks block. You will be able to edit them later. When you have entered your responses to all the offenses, enter the Commander decision date, then press Next to go on to the next page. If you chose no action for all of the referred offenses, your next step is to sign and return the form to the originating office. Verify that the summary of offenses matches the ones you chose to take action on. Now you will indicate the highest level of punitive action that has been taken in response to all of the listed offenses. Judicial is the highest, followed by non-judicial, then administrative. Choosing a higher level action here will not prevent you from recording lower level actions on the form. If you select administrative, you are finished with this page. If you select non-judicial or judicial, you will be presented with additional choices to make. If you chose judicial, you must now check which judicial punishment authority applies: summary court-martial, general court-martial, special court-martial, or civilian criminal magistrate. If you choose civilian criminal magistrate, you will be asked to provide more specific information about the jurisdiction. The drop-down list contains all of the currently defined jurisdictions in alphabetical order. Use one of them if possible. If you cannot identify the proper jurisdiction, choose Other from the drop-down. You are then required to enter the jurisdiction name in the If Other box below the drop-down. If you chose non-judicial punishment, Article 15, you must now select the non-judicial punishment authority that applies: summarized, GCMCA imposed, company grade, general officer imposed, field grade, or principal assistant. When you have completed the entries on this screen, press the Next button to continue. The next screen shows the court proceeding outcomes for judicial actions. So if you chose administrative as the highest action taken in Block 4, you will not see this screen. You will enter the charged and finding offenses here for the judicial actions and the pleas and the findings. Number the entries as you make them. If you need more information on charged and finding offenses, refer to the user manual for the 4833. If you enter anything in a row, everything must be filled in for that row. Press Next when you have completed the entries on this page. If you filled in all the entries on this screen, you will see a second page for court proceeding outcomes. Otherwise, you will go straight to the next section. In the next screen, you will be asked if you also took administrative action. If you chose administrative action in Block 4, the question will already be answered yes for you. Otherwise, answer yes or no using the checkboxes. Administrative separation is included in administrative actions. If you choose no, when you press Next, you will skip over the administrative actions screens and go straight to non-judicial judicial sanctions. If you choose yes, you will be asked what type of administrative actions you took. The first selection you may make will be for non-adverse actions. If you imposed any non-adverse actions, enter the date imposed and the date responded on this screen. When you are complete, press Next to go forward. After you fill out the date of the adverse action, you must check the boxes to indicate the details. When you are complete, press Next to go forward. There are 2 more pages of adverse actions that you can select from. To choose any adverse action, you must first enter the date. Then you must enter the requested detail to the right, if applicable. All adverse action selections will require you to enter remarks in the pop-up box to explain your reasoning. These remarks will be placed in the Commander's Remarks block, and you will be able to review and edit them later if you wish. You may page back and forth through these screens by using the Next and Forward buttons. After you complete the adverse actions and move forward, the next screen you will see is the administrative separation block. If you enter the date imposed, you must fill out the rest of the information in the block. Press Next when you have finished the section. The next page is where you can start to enter non-judicial or judicial sanctions. Enter the date to indicate that this sanction has been imposed. Most entries require details about the judgment. These fields are mandatory if you select an item by entering date adjudged. Press Next when you have finished the section. On the next page, you will be asked if you suspended any of these sanctions. Commanders or judges sometimes choose to suspend sanctions to motivate good conduct. If you select No, you can go on to the next page and complete the 4833. If you select Yes, you will be able to record the suspension of sanctions that you selected in the previous section. The suspended sanctions entries are on 3 separate pages. You may only enter the date suspended if you already imposed that sanction in the previous section. If you enter the date suspended, you must complete the rest of the information in that row. On this screen, you will see all of the remarks that you entered. You may add to or edit these remarks. If you entered more than 1 page of remarks, they will be continued on the following page, and the check mark in the lower right of the screen will be checked. If you choose to enter more remarks and want a second page for more space, check the box and another page for your remarks will be created. You only have the 2 pages for remarks. If you wish to enter more remarks, you must create them on a separate document and attach it to the 4833. You can attach these remarks or other documentation to the DA Form 4833 from any screen. Click on the Attach button to open up a window that will allow you to locate a document on your hard drive. From this screen, you can find and select 1 or more documents to attach to the 4833. The document will be attached to the 4833. To display the contents of the attachment, click on the Display button. The commander or reporting officer is required to fill in the information in Block 11 before signing the form. Check Yes or No to indicate whether a DNA sample was collected. Enter your name, grade, and your official Army.mil or Mail.mil email address in the boxes. When you press Next, you will be taken to the form view to review and sign the completed 4833. Page through the form to verify that the information you entered is complete using the Next and Previous buttons at the top of the page. You may make additions and changes if you want. You can also switch back to the wizard view by clicking the wizard button at the top of the page. When you get to block 11, you must sign the form electronically with your CAC. Click the button where it says Click to Sign. If there are errors in the form, a pop-up box will appear listing the errors. When you click on the box, you will be repositioned to where the error was detected. Correct the error and return to block 11 to sign the form. You may have to repeat this several times if you have more than one error. Click the Sign button when your form passes the edits. Then you will see a certificate selection box. Choose the proper certificate by clicking on it, then clicking OK. Your name and certificate ID will be displayed. Click on the Sign button in the topmost box. The signature validation box will be displayed with your certificate info in it. Click on OK if this is the proper certificate. Your signature will be entered onto the form. Save the form. It is now complete. Only save it once, or multiple copies may be created in MyForms. Now you must return to MyForms to route the form. Go back to the MyForms portal entry screen and select your Drafts tab. The 4833 that you just created is in your Drafts folder. Click on the box next to it to select it, which will activate the buttons on the left. Click on Route Slip. Fill in the name information to find the person you want to route the form to, or use the Faves capability or other MyForms functionality. Select the name you want and click on Add as Original to route the form to the recipient. MyForms will place the form in the recipient's inbox and remove it from your Drafts folder. Full documentation for MyForms functionality is accessible from the Forms portal. More information about the 4833 Wizard is in the user manual. For assistance with content issues and how to fill out the form, contact your local PMO. For assistance with functionality within the form and the MyForms portal, contact the APD Help Desk.